Hello, this is Pete Thomas from Season 2 of NBC's The Biggest Loser. Listen, sorry that this is a little bit late. Teaching my classes last night, had a speaking engagement with the American Cancer Society, but I could not wait to get back home to watch my TiVo episode of The Biggest Loser. I tell you, there's more drama on this show since back in the day when Falcon Crest was on and you got to watch the Carringtons. And if you know what I'm talking about, you're old. You're really old. Like me. But anyway, let's go to the show. I mean, of course we start as a carryover from last night. And so Mike's on the scale. Will he lose enough weight? Of course, because last week was Feel Good Week. And so we can't have the black team winning yet again. And so carryover, nobody gets voted off. But then immediately there's a pop challenge. And so what happens? They have to go outside and they have to actually perform weighted wall sits. Now, a wall sit is actually working your quadricep muscles. And you'll sit back against the wall and we put a medicine ball on your legs. And whoever holds out the longest is actually going to pick teams. So in a good little twist, not only is it going to be black team versus blue team, but the teams are going to, members of the teams are going to go head to head. And so it's, anybody say anything else? It was Tara and somebody. So Tara was matched up with somebody. She wins, and she wins the chance to actually pick the teams. And so then we have a little fake stare down moment where, you know, the contestants are staring down their opponents. And of course, the best stare down of all is between Felipe and Kristen. And they're staring each other down. And, you know, I wondered, that had to be scripted. Because Felipe says he's going to take Kristen down. And Kristen says, well, how much weight have you lost? And I've lost more. That's pretty good television there. That's pretty good stuff. So anyway, that's how the next week is going to play off. It's going to be a mono-on-mono thing. You've got to really lose weight for your team, but also you've got to beat that person that they've got you paired up with. So that's just great, great stuff. Then we get to the big challenge. The big challenge takes place at a gym, and so the contestants start off in a relay race. And so they've got to take 24 medicine balls out of the pool, and they've got to take them upstairs to a staging area. From the staging area, they got to take those balls under an obstacle course, and then they've got to take them into the gym and do 24 squats. So 24 balls and 24 squats, and the prize is 24 hours of relaxation. Who might the sponsor be? That's right, 24-Hour Fitness. It was mandatory to say the word 24 7,000 times during this episode because 24-Hour Fitness wanted to make sure that it was known that they were the sponsor. But anyway, at the end of the day, the black team wins the prize. And Kristen had some classic words again. She says, sometimes, America, you do all you can and it's just not enough. I know. I'm from Detroit. Home of the Detroit Lions, the 0-16 Detroit Lions. So, Kristen, I know exactly what you're talking about. But the question really is this a good prize on the Biggest Loser Ranch? I'd have to say no from our experiences. For one, whenever you have the opportunity to go off campus, it's kind of like you get to go off campus, but you don't get to leave. I remember on my particular season, we had a trip to Las Vegas. We were stuck in a room for like 18 hours. It was killer. I mean, really, we thought that we were doing something when we could walk down the halls by ourselves, you know, because they won't let you just go wander off because you might pick up the phone and call family members and tell them, hey, I've lost this much money. And so what we would have to do is we would literally pay the concierge or the person, the wait staff, we'd pay them $20 to mail out letters home for us because the letters that we mailed out on the ranch were actually reviewed by production assistants. So it can really be a rough time. I remember I purposely used my ATM card so that my family back home would see that I was using it from Las Vegas and they would figure out what's going on. So just because you're off the ranch doesn't mean you're having a good time. Although that black team, they really tried to have a good time in their little confines, you know. They ate like stars. They ate like pre-Biggest Loser days, and they got a little bit blitzed along the way. And liquid calories are the worst because there's something called the thermic effect of food, where your body actually burns calories, you know, as it's digesting your food, and there's no digestion process going on when it comes to those liquid calories, just straight down, straight over to the small intestine. Anyway, all of that. So there's, you know, they are really pounding back the calories, and we're going to have to see how that plays out. The next day, of course, they get back from the 24 hours of health and wellness and whatever it was. When they get back to the ranch, they've got to pay the piper. Jillian wants to know all about it, and she's like had spies all over, and so she knows about some Kobe sliders and all of this stuff, and she is about to blow her top. She's about as angry as, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, she's about a 7, 7.5, and moving up until Felipe takes the top spot. He's really upset about not being worked out well, and there has to be a whole lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. But he blows his top. He's upset. He walks out. And who follows him but Sione? They go out together, and they decide that they're going to switch teams because Jillian has upset them so much. So this is crazy. This is really, really, really crazy. You're part of that team, but you got to work out with this team. And the trainers are going to work you out no matter what. Teams have switched before, but then the allegiances do. Am I allied with Bob, or do I have my allegiance with my own old team? It's a big, 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 big mess. Ooh, that's good TV. That's good TV. Then we end up going to the weigh-in room, and at the weigh-in, again, the challenge is on mono. Now, this is one thing. If you're watching the show, you should understand. Women always have the complaint, oh, men lose weight faster than women do. Men lose. If you go by percentages, they're the same. They're the same. My particular season, women would lose weight as fast as the men. It's just that the women would vote off their best contestants, and so the men went on kind of a roll here. But here we see it. We see, for instance, how's Michigan doing? We see that Helen from Michigan is going up against Ron, and Helen loses more weight, percentage-wise, than Ron. But at the end of the day, that black team is really superior. And so I'm wondering what's going on behind the scenes, because there's some weird numbers that pop up on the scale. But at the end of the day, the blue team is in the elimination room. And so they have, just a mega breakdown and start crying and all of that. It's really an emotional time. Mandy stops a tie from happening, because if a tie would have happened, the black team would have been able to come over and vote off. They would suspect they were going to vote off Aubrey, but who knows? They may have voted off Kristen, who's really one of the biggest challengers over there on that blue team. So very, 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 very emotional elimination room. So it was a great show last night. I hope you enjoyed it. Casting call, final weekend out in California way. The last weekend is the best weekend to go to the casting calls. And so hope you all have a great day. This has been Pete Thomas for the Going Gonzo blog. Check us out here at MLive. Thanks a lot. This is Pete Thomas again, winningman.com. And what else? Oh yeah, Grand Rapids Press. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.